So when you're putting together a project like Dudes of Hazmat and what's the Portal of Plenty?
Yeah, that's the first one I did with those characters.
Gotcha.
They're just investigating this supernatural entity.
So when
And
you're putting that together, how much of that did you like write out?
oh, that one I just used to like go with do it as I went along.
Okay,
So
because
that one was not planned.
there were a few moments like as I was I watched all of them yesterday. There were a few moments where I was like, that was definitely a last minute thought,
Yeah. Yep.
and I loved it. Like I absolutely loved it. Like there's the first episode where it's got the oh, what's her name? Is her name Rosetta? The
Oh yeah, Rosalita. I'm bringing her back soon.
oh,
That's
cool.
good.
Where Rosalita is talking with her client, and then as she leaves to go reprimand her dog, like the client leaves to go reprimand her dog or whatever, she Rosalita like slaps her on the ass, and I was like, that was definitely a last minute idea, and I love it.
I've known people like that. Like they're very physical. But then I also thought, okay, so I've known people like this, but also she's a mind reader, and so she can see what people's needs are.
Yeah.
So I thought she knows this girl's into that, so it's okay. Like that's kind of consent.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
Whatever.
Definitely nothing along. Yeah.
She's just a playful, physical person.
Yeah.
They're rare, but I've met people like this, and they do swat people in the ass and stuff.
Yeah. Like I knew immediately that it would fit within the universe.
Yeah.
But I'm trying
So
like
if I bring her back, I'll have her do more of that.
awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to remember. I think I wrote down a couple other moments that struck me like that. Like in the last episode, with like at like the actual climax where the portal explodes.
Yeah.
The one chick just gets like evaporated, like a. Like that. The thing about that I really liked about this too is that, like there's a good amount of action like throughout the show because there's a couple fight scenes and all that. But like within like this last episode where like you're kind of like wrapping this thing up, you just kind of go all out and you evaporate like a nuclear bomb a woman, and then the dude who like flies out of the fucking building on a motorcycle, his skin is like melting and charred. It's like whoa, this is like a new. Like we went from 0 to 1,000. Well,
Oh
not
yeah, that
0 to
was
1,000, but 100 to 1,000 at least.
yeah, that was the plan is that it would have a sudden like surprising
Like hyper
manic
detailed
kind of feeling.
gore.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
Well,
supposed to be calm up to this like huge ending. So
I
it's
thought
like manic depressive almost. I try to recreate the feeling of mania and then a depressive episode.
you definitely achieved it, but it really it moved me.
Oh, good.
There's
Uh,
another thing. It was on the Bother of Pearl, but it was also on. I think it might have been on the first. Which is the one where the dude gets shot all up.
oh, that's the cult one.
Oh, the
There's
Colt one,
a
yeah, with the cans of whoop ass. That
that kind of whoop ass.
where again, it felt like a last minute thing where that I just like do it like a chef kiss to. Like it's like, oh, what a brilliant, what a master stroke. Which is when people die and their ghosts go up, they're naked, and there's ghost dick. That's hilarious.
Just I don't know why. I just thought it was funny.
Because it
Because
is.
souls have genitals. I
Yeah,
guess if a soul has a haircut, it's gonna have the same genital. Like if it has the specific haircut you died with.
yeah, and I just appreciate that kind of that attention to detail for comedy's sake.
Have I shown any female? Oh, wait a minute.
I don't think
I've barely
so.
shown female nudity.
I, that, that,
One of
that,
my videos says female nudity, like it's a live action, and then I'm doing a baptism.
hmm.
And one of my friends, she did a nude shot in there, and I had to like, I think that's when I had to switch my whole channel to adults. Like it's not for children. which is good
Oh,
because then you get paid. I don't think you
oh,
can charge if it's for children.
interesting. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you too about because I know YouTube there was a time whenever they switched from how do I phrase this? They basically, I mean, from my understanding is that they became incredibly unfriendly to animators. Like they transitioned some way where like it stopped being about views and became about video length. And I was wondering
Oh,
had
yeah.
any trouble with that stuff when that happened. Because I'm sure you've been on YouTube long enough to have maybe noticed that.
Oh, yeah, long time, and I've noticed changes. Nothing negative for me,
Oh,
but
that's
I
good.
have friends who say, like, do you know the Minute Hour? I've illustrated for a guy named the Minute Hour, and he didn't. The stuff in his videos wasn't too bad, but they've had warnings now before his content.
Oh,
Like, you have to actually sign into YouTube to watch it
oh that's annoying.
to prove you're a certain age. And there was one I drew from where a guy cooks himself in a barbecue, but it's all animated.
Uh-huh.
Like, so it's weird to consider that R-rated.
Right,
It's
like
kind of
yeah,
playful.
it's all colorful and stuff. So it's you'd
So
think.
that's a more recent change, yeah.
Okay, well I'm glad that
I've
you weren't
only
hit too hard by it.
I've only had good things happen. Like at first, I wasn't able to upload longer videos, and now I can. So and then I was able to charge or to get paid for advertising. That was a good development.
Awesome.
It's still the only place you can do this kind of stuff. Like where there's a huge audience. So
Right.
I think I just really appreciate it still.
Good. Awesome.
You're getting me nostalgic for that the Rosalita character. I think I'll write some of her today.
She's a great character.
You, you get nostalgic for do you have any embarrassing nostalgia? Do you have like
Oh man.
a time period of cartoons or a movie that you can't tell people? I guess you don't want to talk about it then.
No, I mean I talk about it with you, but I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of. I can't think of anything that I watch or have watched that I'm embarrassed about. I mean, as a teenager, like I was into a little bit of anime, but the anime that
Yeah.
I was into, I feel like still holds up.
You never know what people's reaction will be to that.
Yeah.
There's a couple I like. There's a couple animes.
Yeah.
I liked Gintama,
Oh, I'm not familiar with that one.
and I liked Sergeant Frog. It was pretty good.
I don't know that one either. See, I'm probably like a real hack when it comes to anime because it's like I like Cowboy Bebop because of course you do. Everybody like has to like Cowboy
Oh, yeah, I've
Bebop,
seen a couple of those. They were good.
and
I didn't continue, but I liked the one I saw.
oh, and I also like a few of the Gundam series, but that's basically Japanese Star Wars. So it's like if you like
Yeah.
that, it's like it's not like a crazy kind of thing.
It's not the same thing as Robotech, is it?
Uh,
Um,
and there's
I
robots.
saw a really old one called Robotech. It was from the 70s, maybe, or early
Oh,
80s.
Yeah, Robotech. It is kind of similar to that because it's like piloted mecha,
Yeah. Okay.
and I'm not sure if Robotech touches on like the inhumanity of war, but that's kind of the
Oh, a
overall
little
theme
bit.
of
I think it
Gundam.
did do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it did a little bit. Like they got way better at emotion and stuff later.
Yeah,
Animation in general.
same thing for Gundam.
Nostalgia. I don't know.
Yeah, is there anything? Is there a reason why you brought it up? Do you want to fess up to something?
I'm just thinking about it lately, like what people are into and why. Like I hated a lot of the animation in the 90s, and then people I people I'm friends with, sometimes I'll bring up a show that I've never heard of, and it's like this very strong connection to it. Like
Yeah.
Ned's Newt or something. Like I don't even know what that is, but they'll say, "Yeah, that was the best show." Me and my brother used to watch Ned's Newt.
Oh, hey, I'm not familiar with that either.
Uh,
Yeah, but you didn't dig what about '90s animation did you not dig?
I'm not sure. I kind of like the humor. I mean, I didn't like the. I think it was the stuff that was inspired by Ren and Stimpy that didn't do it as well.
Hmm.
Like it was imitation of Ren and Stimpy, and there was so much of that in the 90s that I just kind of stopped watching all of it.
Sure.
Like it was a catalyst for this terrible, terrible.
Uh-huh.
I like how Pulp Fiction did that,
Yeah,
or
like
like
any major
Reservoir
like
Dogs.
kind of trendsetter, just like it creates a lot of children
Yeah,
of that thing,
and it almost makes you hate the original,
spiteful of it.
the copies of the original.
Yeah,
It was a fresh idea, but then it's so stale by the time it's copied 35 times.
for sure. When it comes to animation and modern animation, like I've noticed there, like I don't know if there's just some kind of if like network executives get like some kind of a zeitgeist or like if they're all lizards or like I'm not sure what it is, but there's just been a few that I've seen come out or at least advertised that all have a very like similar look. Have you noticed
Yeah,
anything like that?
yeah. Um, what was the recent one you saw? That-
Well, there was this one called Fairfax, I think.
uh,
That's on Amazon, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on Amazon. That's where I saw it advertised. Um, and then there was this Illuminati one that came out on Netflix, which I was really upset about because I had that exact same fucking idea like a
oh
few
shit,
years ago, and I
that
was like,
was
God
horrible. Yeah,
damn it, are you fucking serious?
I hate that feeling.
But it's also like
You
it's
know, like,
like
did they see my notes or something
yeah,
somehow, and then you like go back to who you shared them with?
right, and it's like I mean I felt like this was a pretty specific idea.
Oh, sorry, that's horrible. I know how horrible that is.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have the means to make it or anything, so it's like to a certain extent you can't be too upset. But it's like I sometimes get like affirmed by stuff like that because it's like, hey, I do have good ideas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can sort of like reinforce too.
Hmm.
And then maybe sometimes you go, oh, okay, well they did that version. Maybe I can think of a really odd, um, like a warped version of that. Now that they've taken my idea,
Right. Figure out
and
how
then
to.
maybe it helps by making you make something that's very unpredictable.
Yeah. Ooh, here's something. How do you manage to like commit to an idea? Because it's like if I have an idea, I feel like 90% of the time is me trying to talk myself out of doing it.
Oh yeah, that's why a lot of stuff people don't get to the end of it is like the whole thing should be uncertain. And
Yeah.
then if you know there's a kernel of something in there that is fun or like entertaining for people, and you have you feel some kind of passion for it, it'll always have your own signature on it. So if there's any excitement, it's good to continue, even if you're uncertain how it's going to end or
Hmm.
um, yeah, I don't know.
Because like one example that I think that I could bring up of your work that I think maybe touches on what you just said, which is dark roast Denny. Because you even wrote in the description, "Why did I make this?" And it's like I watched that and I read that. I'm like, I mean, this took like weeks. I'm sure. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's like so
couple
so
months.
so to spend weeks on something that you're somewhere in your heart's like, well, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I haven't talked myself out of this one. Or did you almost talk yourself out of that one?
Oh yeah, I almost didn't put that up, and then I think I showed it to somebody, and they're like, "Well, I've never seen anything like this." So, uh,
So that's
yeah,
something.
yeah, I think that counts. Like, if you're making something that surprises you and you're not sure about, that can actually be a very good thing.
Right. Because it's something reaching out of you.
Yeah. Oh, and there was another important step to that, which is I recorded it. I think I'd never had Red Bull before, and then I think I poured that into like this giant thing, a couple of Red Bulls and a whole bunch of vodka, and then I
Ooh.
think I diluted it, and I was drinking that, pretending to be sipping coffee, but I actually was getting more and more weird because I didn't know what the there is kind of a special effect with Red Bull and vodka,
I mean,
and
I've only had a little bit. I'll have to experiment more.
that was purely improvised, which doesn't
No,
always work
no
for me.
kidding.
Yeah, it's no surprise.
I mean, I love it. Again, like I don't mean that in a disparaging way at all, but it's like, oh yeah, definitely ad libbed, and I love it.
I did another one of those actually. I could send you one. He's it's not as good. Like I'm not gonna animate it, but I have the sound file on Patreon,
Oh, cool.
and he rolls himself a coffee. Like he's talking about how you can smoke coffee.
Cool.
He doesn't
I'll
get as
take it.
hyper in that one. He's more or just a specialist. He's like talking about how to do it right.
Gotcha.
And that one I didn't use any.
Any
I was just
stimulants?
normal. I try not to like use crutches anymore.
Gotcha. That's fair. That shows that you've gained some wisdom as an artist over the years,
Yeah, maybe.
or discipline. Or maybe it's more like just
Self-preservation. a little bit.
self-preservation. Sure. Speaking of self-preservation, I think this is a good segue anyway to talk about staying positive in the apocalypse.
Yeah.